So I'm so glad that I get to talk to you today about one of the most intensely terrifying and grotesque gospels ever, because I'm actually really great in gross situations, said no one who's ever met me for 5 minutes, ever. But moving on with what this gospel is about this Sunday, Jesus says, if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. Just gouge it right out of there. If your hand causes you to sin, chop it off. And with all the blood and the gore that this imagery conjures up for us, there's a few words right in there that it's easy to kind of look over, but I think that it's important for us to catch them because it kind of captures the heart of what it's all about. He says, it would be better for you. He says, it would be better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and throw yourself into the sea than to cause one of these little ones to sin. And I think what he's saying is, it would be better for you to live without that eye than to live in sin. And that's really just the heart of a father. That's Jesus as a parent saying, I know what's good for you. I know what's bad for you. All of us, we know what sin is. We know because we've been taught, because we've been told, but we know because we as human beings know how it feels. If you're like me, then surely you've lived through a time when you've been entrenched in sin so much that you felt the desolation that it brings. You know the ways that sin robs you of your peace and steals your joys, the way that it hurts your relationships. You know the isolation that you can find yourself in when you're living in sin. And so that's why Jesus continually calls us to turn away from sin, because he knows that it's going to be better for us if we do that. So how do we turn away from sin? We go to his mercy. We find it in the sacrament of reconciliation. We go to his grace. We find it every time we come to Jesus. In prayer and in sacraments, we receive his grace to do better. We choose rightly when we're living in his grace. Because that's not natural for us to choose the right thing for us. We want to choose what feels good in the moment. And Jesus as a father is saying, I want something better for you. So what are those areas of your life that you're entangled in sin? What are those areas of your life that you keep going back to those same old habits? And how do you root it out? It's really simple. You just get to confession. It might be the craziest thing you've ever heard. It might be the last thing that you want to do, but I promise you, it sounds a lot better than gouging out your eye. God bless you. Have a great week.